Montreal Canadiens forward Paul Byron is facing a hearing with NHL Player Safety for potential supplementary discipline after a hit on Florida Panthers forward MacKenzie Weegar in last night's NHL action. We'll take a quick look at the hit and discuss whether or not he should be suspended coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top, Montreal Canadiens forward Paul Byron is facing a potential suspension. He will be having a hearing later today with NHL Player Safety for a hit that happened last night against the Florida Panthers versus their player MacKenzie Weegar. Now, of course, it was a pretty entertaining hockey game. They've had a lot of action early on. Of course, Max Domi was getting into things with Mike Matheson. Antti Niemi ended up making 50-plus saves. It was a pretty entertaining hockey game overall, I must say. But in the second period, Montreal Canadiens forward Paul Byron ended up getting called for a charging penalty. He was only assessed a 2-minute minor on the play. MacKenzie Weegar was hit pretty hard. And if you take a look here at the play, you'll see what I mean. So here is what happened. So as you can see, it's clearly charging. That was the original call on the ice. The referee who was back near center ice made the call. Byron goes in. It does look as though he left his feet and he made a high contact with Weegar, and it looks as though he did make contact with the head. Now, on that clip there, I kind of slowed it down and showed it multiple times, so you can see this does not look good at all for Byron. I most definitely think there will be a suspension. Now, of course, Paul Byron's typically a pretty clean player, doesn't really have much of a history. I did some digging just to see if I could find any potential suspensions in the past, because I couldn't recall him being suspended for anything similar to this in the past, and I couldn't find anything. So as best I can tell here, Byron does have a clean history, which will certainly go well for him. So I don't suspect anything to be too severe, but I would be surprised if a suspension is not handed down here by NHL Player Safety. I mean, the fact that he left his feet and clearly made contact with the head is not going to go well here for Byron. I'm not sure he's going to have a whole lot of a case or a defense here when he meets with the Player Safety to discuss the situation. So we'll see here what happens. I'm not really quite clear on the exact outcome for Weegar of the Florida Panthers. So obviously once they have the full details on the injury report, that'll obviously be factored in as well. And the call on the ice will be factored in as well, which said was only a minor penalty for charging. It was clearly charging for sure. I think the penalty probably should have been a major penalty considering the what happened afterwards. Like he said, he left his feet and made head contact, but based on the referee's positioning, that was probably hard to tell. So when you watch the clip and you kind of slow it down, you can see him leaving his feet. He didn't leave him a whole lot, but still nonetheless he did. And you can see Weegar's head kind of right around the middle part here, like around the mouth and nose, getting contact here from Byron. So the head, I think we can say, is the focal point of contact. So in my opinion, things do not look good here for Mr. Byron. I do believe the Montreal Canadiens forward will be given a suspension. I'm going to say probably somewhere around 2 or 3 games is more likely what happens. Like I said, he's got a clean history. He's not a dirty type of player, but the fact of how things happen here likely will be giving him something. As always, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this hit here for the Montreal Canadiens forward Paul Byron. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think he'll be suspended? And if so, what do you think is a fair, justifiable suspension in this case? If you're new to the channel here, hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up before you go. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.